بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد النبي العالمين الذي اسمه مكتوب في الإنجيل والتوراة أما بعد فقد قال الله عز وجل في كتابه العزيز بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فإن آمنوا بمثل ما آمنتم به فقد اهتدوا وإن تولوا فإنما هم في شقاق فسيكفيكهم الله وهو السميع العليم وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أصحابي كالنجوم بأيهم اهتديتم اهتديتم أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. And your brothers and sisters, youngsters and elders, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presented Habib sallallahu alayhi wasallam with the most beautiful, diverse classroom. Most classrooms, most settings in education, most systems in universities are such that in your classroom you will have two types of students. You will have, regardless of the methodology, regardless of the type of institution, you will have the students who are honor roll students, A+ students, but then you will also have those who are just moving along, struggling to get through. It could be at the most prestigious universities like Harvard and Oxford, or at a middle school or even in a preschool. This system exists in every space of education. People who are exceeding expectations and people who are just holding on to move forward. The only classroom that was completely consistent all across the board, where every single student was an honor roll student. Every single student was a star student. Every single student was a highlight. And therefore, as the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was leaving this world, and he opened his curtain one last time to take a glimpse of not his mansion, to take a glimpse of not even his children, where 6 out of the 7 of his blessed beautiful children had already been buried before him, other than Fatima radiyallahu anha. Not a glimpse of the inheritance that he's leaving behind. He opens his curtains a day before he departs from this world and transitions to the hereafter. And Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu anhu says that وَكِدْتُ, it was very close that we were about to break our salah out of excitement to see the Prophet sallallahu, because we hadn't seen him in 3 days. And the Prophet looks, يَتَلَأْلَأُ وَجْهَهُ, and his face beaming with light, sweat coming down his forehead, a red bandana around his head because he had a fever and he was sick, and he was smiling at not the inheritance of wealth, but at the people that were going to carry the mission on. The people that were going to become the flag bearers of this beautiful religion, where each and every one of those students were honor roll students. You could pick from those who were youngsters, pick from the women, pick from the children. When we say that I can't find a role model among Sahaba, that simply means we haven't read enough about them. When we say that they're not relatable, that means we haven't aligned our heart with the hearts of those who are beloved to Allah. When we say that I can't find something to connect with, it means we're looking for a connection that should never be pursued anyways. Because the Sahaba were already given as a model that we follow. The Prophet of Allah says that these are like stars. Whomever you choose, you will be guided through them. And amongst these great companions that were guaranteed Jannah, living on earth, walking on the earth. The Prophet ﷺ is sitting in the Masjid al-Nabawi, and as he's sitting with the companions around him, the famous narration of Sahih Muslim where Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu walks in and the Prophet looks at him and says, Abu Bakr fil Jannah. Just casually. Just like on a normal day. Imagine you walk into the masjid and someone says, hey man, I got $100,000 for you right here, come. Like, bro, bismillah, man. I'll get Jannah from tahajjud, but that money's going to help me tomorrow. Then a few moments later, Umar walks in, radiyallahu anhu. Umar fil Jannah. A few moments later, Uthman and Ali. And in that same gathering, walks in the young prince of Mecca, the cousin of the Prophet, the son of Safiya bint Abdul Muttalib, who was the aunt of the Prophet ﷺ, the sister of Hamza, the sister of Abdullah, the sister of Abu Talib. Safiya was a lioness of Islam. Zubayr was her son. Zubayr walks in, ibn al-Awwam, and the Prophet says, Zubayr fil Jannah. While they're walking, their real estate in Jannah has already been cultivated and has already been established. People like you and I make the effort, as we should, for every square foot and acre to live on this earth, whereas we know at the moment we close our eyes and our heart stops beating in this world, the small 6-foot areas where we will be buried, the people of the Sahaba in the Akhirah were focused simultaneously upon their real estate in Jannah. How can I earn my castle in Jannah while living on earth? Zubayr fil Jannah. He already has Jannah. Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu was only 15 or 16 years old when he accepted Islam. Amongst the many virtues of Zubayr, the one that I would focus on today for all of us in the time that we have, for the youngsters and also for the elders, was Zubayr radiyallahu anhu was a man who was eager to serve. He was eager for opportunities to gain traction and earning the rida and the pleasure of Allah. We say that we want Allah's rida. Imam Ghazali rahmatullah alayhi used to say, he would say, in the concept of whether or not we truly want Allah's pleasure through these nights, he would say, utlub, or rather, usduq fi talabi mawlak. Usduq fi talabi mawlak. He would say, be truthful in your pursuit of the claim that you have that you really want Allah. Do I really want Allah? Do I really want an opportunity to serve in the path of Allah? Do I really want the opportunity to become a shaheed? Do I really want the opportunity to give in the path of Allah? The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says so beautifully, "Man sa'ala Allahu ash-shahadata bi sidqin min qalbihi, ballaghahu Allahu manazil ash-shuhada wa in mata ala firashi." He says, if a person asks Allah, oh Allah, mothers, fathers who are sitting here, you ask Allah, oh Allah, make my son and daughter a hafiz. If you and I are truthful in that claim, there's sidq in our heart, that we're not saying it for a moment to be applauded, we're not saying it for a moment to be recognized, but we're saying it because we know that in this claim there will be challenges. In this claim there will be battles that we will have to face. But am I truthful in that claim? The Prophet says, whoever asks Allah for martyrdom, Allah will give it to them, Allah will give them the reward of it, even if they pass away on their comfortable bed. Because they asked with sidq. Zubayr al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu, 16-year-old youngster, for the young people sitting here. Age, we hear it all the time, it's just a number. But we only use that concept when it comes to finance, being independent, being able to make the moves that we want to make in life. But the moment it comes to religious obligation and a liability of being who we are, we say, man, I'm still so young. I'm still so young, I have so much time. 16-year-old kid, he heard that the Prophet ﷺ was taken by the Quraysh of Mecca. He was kidnapped. This 16-year-old youngster walks through the streets of Mecca and he unsheaths his sword. And this is why he was known as the first person who was ready to go at it from the Muslims. The first person who took his sword out to protect the Prophet ﷺ was Zubayr al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu. The first person who was prepared to put his life on the line for the Prophet was a Zubayr. And when the Prophet ﷺ said to him, "Oh Zubayr, why did you do this for?" He said, "Ya Rasulullah, I heard that they kidnapped you. I heard that they took you and I wasn't going to be okay with that." And Zubayr was a warrior. As his mother was a warrior, Safiya. When Hamza radiyallahu anhu became shaheed in Uhud, and his intestines and his liver were pulled out and it was completely destroyed and eaten up by Hinda. And this incident takes place in Uhud. Safiya, the sister of Hamza, the mother of Zubayr, hears of this news, that my brother was killed in this battle. And if Hamza was a lion, she was a lioness. She rushes in the battle. She wants to see where her brother is. She wants to see what actually happened to my brother. And the Prophet ﷺ tells the companions that don't let Safiya come to the body of Hamza. I don't want her to see her brother in this state. I don't want her to see her Hamza in this state. So don't let her come. The Sahaba go to intercept and she moves them out of the way. And then the Prophet says to Zubayr, "Go stop your mother. And Zubayr ibn al-Awwam is known that in the Battle of Uhud, again, eager and present for the times of service. As youngsters, we don't look for opportunities of wealth to come to us, we seek them. As youngsters of Islam, we don't look for opportunities of deen to come to our doorstep. We pursue them. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا. Whosoever goes out of their way to find Allah, Allah becomes theirs. Allah becomes theirs. كُنْتُ سَمْعُهُ الَّذِي يَسْمَعُ بِهِ وَبَصْرُهُ الَّذِي يَبْصُرُ بِهِ. He becomes the hearing that we hear with and the sight that we see with. Zubayr, in the Battle of Uhud, there was a man from the mushrikeen of Mecca. Check this out. He had this what you'd call it like a spike ball. And he was going to the Battle of Uhud and he was spinning it. And anyone that would come his way would fall to his spike ball. He was going through the lines of the Muslims. Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiallahu anhu sees him at a distance and he's on foot. You all think we work out, we're strong? Look at this man. He sees him, he runs towards the horse that is running towards him, and as they come close, he jumps on the horse while it's moving. This is not like Fast and Furious stuff. This is real. And he throws the guy off, takes his spike ball, and starts doing what he was doing to the non-Muslims in one swift motion. So Zubayr is a warrior. So he's told, stop your mother. So he moves forth. He says, oh mother, the Prophet told me to ask you to. Rather, he says, oh mother, you can't go see Hamza. The mother moves him out of the way. He comes again. The third time he comes, Safiya radiallahu anha pushes him so hard that he falls. Says, get out of my way. Then he says, Ya ummah, qad mana'aka Rasulullah. That the Prophet has told me to stop you. The moment she hears this, she stops. In the fit of emotions, to be obedient is far more difficult to be obedient when everything is on a balance. In a fit of rage and anger, the words that come are not through rationale, they're through your emotions. She stops. And she doesn't move forward until the body is fixed and is covered, and then the Prophet allows her to come. Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiallahu anhu in the Battle of Badr was one of the only companions that had a horse. And before the battle, he put on a yellow turban. And the Prophet ﷺ said to Zubayr, Al-an tanzilu al-malaikata ala siyami Zubayr. That the angels are descending from the heavens, but oh Zubayr, they're dressed just like you. They're dressed like you. Imagine being a human and angels imitating us. That's not something that is a distant cry of the reality. After all, they were the ones who were told to bow to our Father. It's not a distant cry that these angels are seeking their elevation through the service of the creation of the human beings. They were dressed like Zubayr. We try to imitate people of the world because we want to be included. Imagine being amongst fathers, mothers, and youngsters where the angels are saying, I want to look like them. Jibreel alayhi salam descended from the heavens and he said to the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, today all of the angels are dressed like Abu Bakr. He gave up all his money, he had 2 pieces of cloth and he had no buttons, so he used thorns to close up his clothes, to lock it up and to tie it up. He used thorns. So Jibreel alayhi salam said, out of the love of Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu, all the angels in the heavens are imitating him. They're trying to dress like him. The Prophet ﷺ only once in his life sacrificed or put together his parents for individuals. In the Battle of Uhud, again, eager, present, looking for opportunities. We don't speak about these people as if they're distant individuals that we can never become like. If that was the case, their stories and lives would not have been preserved for us. There is a reason why the stories of the previous nations are not preserved as well for us. Because they're not supposed to be as relatable. And there's a reason why the lives of Sahaba are preserved for us. Because we can actually take something from them and aim to at least inspire to become like them. We don't stop reading books of entrepreneurs and billionaires because we say we can't become like that. We read it simply to be inspired so that one day perhaps our children can become like that. In the Battle of Uhud, when everything went haywire and backwards, and Khalid ibn Walid came from the back and they sandwiched the Muslim army, which was pretty much a sign of complete destruction. The Muslims spread apart, seeking shelter and security, and only 70 Sahaba out of 1,000 remained behind. Out of those 70, Zubayr ibn al-Awwam was one of the main characters and individuals that played a pivotal role in changing the battlefield for the Muslims. The Prophet saw Zubayr and he said, Ya Zubayr, irmi fidaka abi wa ummi. Irmi ya Sa'ad was Zubayr, two companions. That the Prophet said to them, keep shooting. Keep shooting your arrows. May my father and mother be sacrificed for you. May my father and mother be sacrificed for you. In our terminology today means, may my world, if I had the world to give to you, I would have given it to you. I would give you. We are people that pursue the Prophet. These were individuals that the Prophet pursued. The Prophet made dua for Umar to become Muslim. The Prophet sought out Talha. The Prophet pursued Zubayr. Just like that, my dear friends, wallahi, a day will come when we leave this world, on the day of judgment, where the Prophet will be standing on the Hawd al-Kawthar, and I believe that he will pursue you and I as well. Why would he not? We lived in a time and an age where the distractions have been compounded. We live in a time and an age where haram has become easy. And yet we take out our moments of our entire month of Ramadan, the nights of what we have today, the entire month we're gifting and giving back to Allah. We're spending the days in the masjid, our evenings in the masjid, fasting for Allah. We're giving da'wah for Allah. We are traveling for Allah. Why would the Prophet not pursue me on the day of judgment? Ahsinu dhanna billah. Have positive assumptions of Allah. Have positive assumptions in these nights. Just like how Zubayr was pursued, we would be pursued. It's not because we deserve it. It's because the one above loves to give. Ahnaf ibn Qais rahmatullah alayhi says, Allahumma in tu'adhibani fa ana ahlul lidhak. Allahumma in tu'adhibani fa ana ahlul lidhak. Oh Allah, if you chose to punish me, then I deserve such punishment. Ana ahlul lidhak. وَإِن تَغْفِرَنِي فَأَنْتَ أَهْلٌ لِذَاكَ. But if you chose to forgive me and to pardon me, your mercy is inclusive of such sinners as well. You can do it. So the Prophet said to Zubayr, فِدَاكَ أَبِي وَأُمِّي. May my parents be sacrificed for you, O Zubayr. You're able to protect me. You are putting your body, your life on the line for me. May Allah sacrifice my parents for you, my life for you. Whereas we are taught to sacrifice our life for the Prophet is saying, may my family's life be sacrificed for you, O Zubayr. Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu in the battle of Ahzab, the battle of the trench, or during the conquest of Banu Qurayza, it was cold, difficult moments where the Sahaba had very little to eat. It was windy, difficult. Ahzab was the most difficult battle for the Muslims. زَاغَتِ الْأَبْصَارُ وَبَلَغَتِ الْقُلُوبُ الْحَنَاجِرُ. Allah says that their eyes started seeing in a hazy way. They couldn't even see clear because of how hungry, tired, and weak their bodies became. As strong as their spirit was, the body wasn't standing strong. The heart had reached the throat. And the Prophet of Allah says, مَنْ يَأْتِيَنِي بِخَبْرِ هَذَا الْقَوْمِ. Who is going to bring me the news of these people? Meaning, who's going to go and be a spy and bring me some news back? Who's going to bring me some news? Who's going to go and put their life on the line, being eager, looking for opportunities? We know this in dunya, that a person who puts himself in the right place, when it comes to dunya, dunya finds him. Wealth finds you. Opportunities of goodness in dunya find you. Similarly, my friends, if we continue positioning ourselves in a way, brothers and sisters, if we continue positioning ourselves in a way, and I urge ourselves that we position our children, position ourselves in a way that we're ready to prepare to serve Allah's deen as well. This continuous battle of being competitive for dunya, a portion of it can be used to be competitive for akhirah. Like how Sahaba were. Like, why is it so that our level of pride and joy for our child getting accepted into a university is far more than the pride and joy that we have for our child when he succeeds in a matter of deen. Why is it so that non-Muslims, when they take their children to soccer practice, their mothers and fathers wait for them and sit in the stands? Jazakallah khair, habibi. Thank you so much. Thank you. Why is it so that their parents will wait? Is that a sign that I should stop? Okay. If it is, man, that's a cute cue. I like it. That's the best way to do it. You know, you got to send up babies for me, like, that are crying. Then I'll stop. Right? Why is it so like these, you know, these, I don't want to say white, but like, you know what I'm talking about, like the non-Muslim parents, they'll sit there in the stand watching their kid play soccer, even though the kid is horrible at it. They'll stand there like, yo, Cody, you can do it. You can do it. You're going to become the next Ronaldo. That kid can hardly move. But they stand there and wait because this is a way to show that I'm supporting you. Have you seen the parking lots when people drop off their kids to Quran class in the evening? They leave the masjid faster than they walk in. What sign is that showing my son or daughter? That I don't even think that what you're doing is as worthy as me walking into the masjid with you. These are not aspects that are normal. We've normalized them. This is not a topic that perhaps hurts us. This is just a reality of what we have to fix. We can't get caught in the swamp that we now believe the swamp is the mansion. This is something that we have to fight out of. So Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiallahu anhu, he stands up and says, Ya Rasulullah, I'm ready. I'm eager, I'm ready. I'm 21 years old, but I'm ready. Tell me when I have to volunteer. Volunteering and service and khidmah is an ibadah. It's including yourself amongst the Ansar. It's telling Allah that I want to be raised with the helpers of Islam. We always want to be served, and whenever we're not served correctly, we are quickly ready to comment upon it, but we're never ready to actually serve. Service with titles, it's a form of honor and pride. Service without a title. We serve when I have a title. When I don't have a title, I don't serve. That means I don't serve Allah, I serve my title. Right? So he continues, says, I'm ready. I'm ready, 3 times. After the 3rd time, the Prophet says, go. And then he says the beautiful statement of Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu's highlight reel. This is his highlight reel. He says, Inna likulli nabiyyin hawariyan. Every prophet was given a close helper, an associate, hawari. Wa inna hawari az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam. My hawari, not Ansar, my closer aid and assistance is found within Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu. A 21-year-old youngster became the closest aid to our Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet continued reminding him that you are my hawari. One day the Prophet was standing in Ghar Hira, not Uhud, and the Hira mountain shook. The Uhud one is famous. This is the second narration. Hira shook, Ghar Hira, where the Prophet received revelation for the first time. He said, Ihda ya Hira. Take it easy, O cave of Hira. Take it easy. وما قام عليك إلا نبي وصديق وشهيد وحواري. There's no one standing upon you except for a prophet, a siddiq, a shaheed, and a hawari in Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu. Their names not being as common in books does not mean that their names are not as common within the books of angels. Their names not being as common in the narrations of hadith does not mean their names are not common within the gathering of the angels. فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرُكُمْ. We're not pursuing to be known by people in this world that will forget us after we die. You and I probably don't even remember our grandparents' names. What's the point of being known in a world that people will forget you the moment they stop benefiting from you? People will forget us. This is a rule of life. This is a rule of life. People will forget us the moment we can't reciprocate anymore. Whereas Allah and the angels will continue remembering us even when we have passed and left this world, bodies deteriorated, but the souls are alive. May Allah allow us to take from these stories, live lives that inshallah one day we can be raised with these hawariyun, with the companions. May Allah allow our children that are named Zubayr and Fatima not to only recognize the name, but recognize the value behind their lives. So that now when Zubayr walks into a gathering, he knows that he is representing as Zubayr ibn al-Awwam. Our parents they never named us Fatima or Ahmad because the name sounded nice. They named us those names because they had hope that one day we can become those flag bearers just like them for our beautiful religion. And wallahi, no person is too far to begin their journey in becoming Allah's representative on this earth. Our purpose of life was inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. We are Allah's ambassadors on earth. It's like being given the best job as a CEO and taking the job that is the lowest position. Allah told us, all of creation serve you. سَخَّرَ لَكُم مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And we're saying to Allah, I'd rather do something else. May Allah allow us to be amongst these people. Allah allow us to be amongst those that can earn His mercy in these blessed nights. Allah allow us to be amongst those that can catch the night of Laylatul Qadr in a state that we are worshipping Him, seeking His forgiveness. May Allah bless you all. Inshallah, we'll see you later in the evening as well. Jazakallahu khair wa akhu da'wan alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.